What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Kwach, actor, writer, and all nice things. Please, if you have not subscribed, hii channel, like, sijui unaona nini, cinema yako unaitolea wapi? Because if you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Ni wewe naongelesha. Subscribe.
So now, karibu to Alboa Cinema. Now, is it yesterday or the day before DIDDY was finally indicted for what we are going to go through? We're going to listen to this gentleman here who is the district attorney for New York, talking about what they're charging him with. There are some things that are being mentioned here, my friend, that I'm going to talk more about, that you would think it's very far from you, but trust me, in this small country of ours with limited resources and small industries, we'll talk about it. But first, let's listen to what DIDDY is being charged for. Good
morning, everyone. My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Okay, I think some of you or many of you have seen the video of the hotel video where Cassie, that's what you said, was it the wife or the baby mom? I don't know. The Cassie, but they were together for a while. Don't know, really, I'm a bit out of loop na hizi vitu. Sipendai kufuata ma personal za watu, but it's relevant right now. So she was like waiting by a lift, wanasema escalator huko America. Then you see the guy charging in with this with taulo. Then he gives a very bad beating there. And I think that's the video that really sealed it for him, I believe, because it was released to be able to get the public perception where they want it to be. Now, this is not any kind of acceptance or whatnot. It's just facts that I'm trying to mention. So, yeah, so that video, kama hujawatch, enda YouTube check, kama X, or you'll find it.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
Okay, that is what they're calling it, the freak-offs. Now, I need to say something about this extensively. Now, we've of course, most of us have watched the podcast of Club Shay Shay with Cat Williams. He said a lot of these things openly. We remember Harvey Weinstein, who is in jail right now for similar behavior in the film industry over there in America. Now, it seems at the very least in America, the entertainment industry is littered with a lot of these degenerates, and it also seems like that the ones who are favored to carry on for a while until they become too too dangerous to the setup, because a lot of these people, they really go overboard. Now, this guy, there are just too many people saying the kind of things you are doing, the artists under him, the management, security, excess, government, everybody seems to understand at least that you are doing these things for a very long time. Anyway, it was a well-known secret, like Harvey's casting couch, where you come there as a woman, unajua ukilamba lolo unaweza pata role immediately just in this case, it seems at the very least, it was more towards the men also. That the fact that they'll get a lot of men in these situations, a lot of dragging, you go to a party, you're dragged, you wake up, shapigwa kitu nyuma. There's a young man who released a video of that happening here. That he went to a party, he was dragged, he woke up the next day, people had excavated his behind. And this is, I'm just mentioning this loosely because sometimes these algorithms pick up these words and they suppress videos and things like that. But so this is something that's happening. The degeneracy that you see, that's why you see they push a lot of this sexual degeneracy everywhere. Because what they're trying to do is make it normal so that whatever nonsense they've done, whatever degenerate bullshit they've done can now be acceptable. You can see this everywhere. I mean, even in America right now, the level at which they are sexualizing their children in these other alternative lifestyles, that they seem preferable to just being a normal heterosexual man or woman. And you've seen that these excesses are being pushed by people like DIDDY. If you want to come in as a talent, if you don't succumb to being fucked or doing the same, you have to do something humiliating, these humiliation rituals you've heard about. You have to do those things so that they have something on you. So that as you get more powerful and whatnot, if you become more successful, if you do things they don't like, they hold that against you. I think it's fair to assume that the government of the US, FBI and those things, use people like this to also get people, politicians and celebs in positions where they are easy to manipulate. Support this political candidate or we release the video. Support this thing we are pushing or we release the video. Or many other things. And you find that a lot of these people have already done bad things. Maybe you're corrupt, maybe you've done these degenerate things with kids and whatnot. So you find that now they have things on you. And that's why people like DIDDY had so much power. People like Harvey Weinstein. If you look at who the Harvey Weinstein friends are, all the Oprah Winfreys, all the biggest actresses, Meryl Streep, what, all of them, oh God, Harvey the king. They praised him non-stop. But then afterwards, they just turn on him. Why do you guys follow and listen to these people without having to think? Part of this video is to try to tell you guys that a lot of you I see mmefuata hawa maceleb sana, especially wa majuu. Hawa wase wamefanya vitu za hii dunia that you would never think possible. Especially, let's listen to I'm telling you, these people are sick.
Often electronically recorded them.
Yeah, that's it. They record the actions. Those are used. Even now, people like DIDDY, people have this mindset. They even keep those videos and for their own satisfaction. Even like it's predators like this are like that, as I've heard someone say.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs...
And this guy, he has videos, tons of videos, terabytes, I think, of videos, and all, like they've because he had cameras all around the house where he was doing these things. So hiyo hata kwa room ingine huko unapigwa kakitu, wanaona kama unapiga mtu seconds. Unakumbuka TD Jakes hapo vile ameji TD Jakes, you remember? People like this, I mean, powerful people like this are involved. And this, anyway, tuendelee, sorry.
To get his way, he was violent. And he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they
the physical abuse you saw with the mama, but...
And that Combs hit,
I think that was more even... Yeah.
threw objects at and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee.
That was the Cassie video
these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance.
Now, there's something just need to add on that, because a lot of this, as I said earlier, a lot of the reason why people like this are able to take advantage of upcoming artists and whatnot, it's because the upcoming artists are already malleable, already willing to compromise themselves to get the success. Locally, that happens a lot, like in TV and film, even music, or producers, directors, the people who have the money. There's quite a number. Personally, I've heard it, and once I have some cock evidence, I'll chomoa it feeling nothing. There are a lot of producers around who, to get a role, lazima umpe pudesh. Yeah? And often, you find that it becomes culture. It's unspoken. That even when a woman is coming for auditions, she's already dressed up and everything to send the message that she's open to it. So until the producer tries and finds, but most of the time you find out it's become this culture thing. Where ukitaka mtu kuingia kwa role, lazima apeane mwili ama whatever. And that's why this is so dangerous, and it's always so counterproductive, because some of the best talents, imagine like America, imagine if a lot of these people are being pushed by people like Diddy, are not the real talent. They're the ones who are willing to compromise themselves. Imagine how much talent, how much great art we've missed out on, locally, internationally, everywhere, because you have people like this. How many great actresses didn't get the chance because they didn't want to suck Harvey Weinstein's D? How many people, how many great rappers did not make it because they didn't want to take it from behind from Diddy? So you see, this is not just a thing that this one person does. It affects an entire industry on the standards. So that now everybody takes up the culture where they know they have to give something to something, not the talent. It's always either money or sexual favors. So it is sick, generally speaking. So, and for the actors and the young artists coming up, the moment you bring yourself down to that level, you've already lost. Most of you will never make it. You'll just be used and abused and then dumped. So it doesn't matter if you think you're getting a leg up at that moment. In the end, you're just one of many untalented people willing to sell themselves off for the cheapest. So, and I realize a lot of the times the people who do this are the people without the real talent. That's the truth. So they think that if they sleep around or they give the director or whatever favor they want, or the producer, then they'll get in. They'll get in, but you'll be looked at and they say, hata huyu hajaiva. And then they'll try and push you in the media and all those things. Eventually you just go down to the mediocrity and probably now just become a straight up, oh, yeah? Many have become, many actresses in this industry. Wamegeuka wamekuwa mapoko. That's the truth.
Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse.
That is partly true, but also this fearing that they'll lose what they've gained. Sometimes when you do some bullshit, you will lose things. And if you want to change it, you have to be okay with losing those things that you gained through that corrupt process. That's just the fact. I don't know why people think you just get scot-free, you get off scot-free. You don't. You have to pay the tax for the bullshit you did. If you accept a director to hit you from the back to get a role, if you accept a director to give a director to get a role, if you don't get the role, or if you get a bad role, or if you just get a role shortly and whatnot, if it doesn't even pay you as much as you thought, it's all your fault. It is all your fault. Because like locally, that's not really a crime, is it? I don't know. But that coercion, and then you do it, and then you get paid for it, and maybe you get fame out of it. Huh?
The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the
Baby
hotel
oil.
rooms got damaged,
Like guys are buying, I heard it was 1,000 bottles of baby oil. For such, like, imagine the effort and the expense you go to set up this degeneracy. If that's not part of the culture of that industry. And how many people are involved and participate. And I think this is what these guys are going for right now. They are going, DIDDY is a window to all these people. The next few months, you're going to see a lot of people, the downfall of many people. Personally, I wouldn't care. If you're involved in this rubbish, anywhere, if you lose everything, if you lose all your reputation, and what, there is no mercy from me. And everybody with half a brain and some morality, it should be the case. When people gain things unfairly, in a corrupt fashion, and on top of that, now even continue to destroy what has been built. When people do that, you must be brave enough to say, no, we can't deal like this anymore. There is no other way to get things to a better place than that. There's no other way.
they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs.
And you see, we have also us, we have all this, by the way, this, our cities, my Airbnbs, tuko na wase wengi, as it's because most of our celebs don't have the kind of money that wakina DIDDY have. So you find it's entrepreneurs, but now our artists also roped in because they're poor. So the entrepreneurs are organizing these freak-offs locally. Mapoko, hivi, some random dudes, gay guys, nini, it's all there. A lot of these entrepreneurs pia wameingia side B. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. Na watu wengi unajua hata mnaona hapa mna celebrate. Weekend ikifika. Chora saba.
To pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced.
This is standard, you know.
And as alleged,
Unaekewa
Combs used
mchele,
others to help
unaamka.
conceal his abuse by monitoring
Part of
and
it.
preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs's electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases, cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
1,000 bottles.
Here are some of the
1,000 bottles of baby oil. Like, what is this obsession, guys? Like, because this is percolating over here locally. Like, hii excesses. Mmewatch mapono zingine weird. Hapa Kenya mpaka tunasikia nyinyi mna search hizi matrans porn mingi sana nyinyi. Church going fools. Like, let me tell you something. When you start consuming these things, they'll push you to that edge. You find that you're not longer satisfied with just good old normal commingling. Commingle. So you're having out here, like, every time you're meeting like a chick, every time they're offering you some weird sex thing. So something because unajua hizo ni za mapono. We know that it's become like the obsession with it. We understand it is necessary for us to propagate, but it's become an obsession. Like any addiction, people are doing weird things. No, people are just masturbating over here in the street. Like, I'm telling you, this is real. So in as much as we are talking about this, you have to kind of also translate to how we actually living, because this is a reality for us too.
The items that we recovered during the searches.
Okay, it's showing us.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine,
so
large capacity.
To be honest, I don't care about the guns.
It contains,
US is a
59
gun
rounds.
place, you know.
I mentioned as well, we recovered
I want to see
3
the other
AR-15s.
things.
This
1,000
is a close-up
bottles
shot
of
one
baby
of
oil.
the AR-15s,
Jesus
and
Christ.
you
When
can
the
see
guys are
right
just
here
opening their asses,
serial
they're
numbers
to the
thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there.
Okay, Guinea. They just showed us the weapon.
Now, I want to be clear about 2 things.
Where is the baby
First,
oil?
This office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that.
Okay.
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City.
It's those facades. They put these people in front of you, my picture, humanitarian of the year, gee what. They do that a lot because they're mainstream. They do that. They're the ones who frame how you think about someone, whether you like it or not. And the only way to inoculate yourself against that is to have as many opinions as possible. So that some celeb is not put in front of you. You know this person is great. You don't know what they're doing behind there. How many lives they've destroyed or destroying in the process. Saizi Americas wametuwekea Kislay Queen hapo atuambia, the best ever. That's for another day.
Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing.
I thought
and I
this
encourage
is the
anyone with
window
information
to-
about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4.
Okay, sawa. So that is as far as I wanted to hear. At least those are the important details. Now, the reason I follow I follow things from across the world, all industries that are pertaining to entertainment, because I participate in production in the entertainment generally, and I've been trying, at least my setup has been trying to do things very differently, because we've realized that there's too much corruption everywhere. There are too many people in positions they shouldn't be because of things like this. There are a lot of favors huko nyuma that have nothing to do with the talent or the business or what. It's just to satisfy this reptilian brain, animalistic instincts that some of the most powerful people we know in the world, that includes here locally. They talk to some of these pokers. They'll tell you the people they are dealing with out here. A lot of these people you see flossing money around, some of these people, quite a number of them actually, other than how they make their money, what they do, because that easy money, it allows for you to indulge in all the fantasies you've even flirted with. And a lot of them are extremely destructive, not just to yourself, but the people you interact with. If you're in the film industry, music industry, there's nothing easy. There's always a price to pay. And I know many of you have already decided that you're ready to pay the price. You have no problem sucking a dick. You have no problem taking it in the ass. You have no problem doing any of these things. You have no problem giving away a portion of your money so that you can get a roll or a deal or a tent. You have no problem doing that. But as long as that's the case, let's not pretend we will build anything. Because as far if you are confident and competent, you will not need to bow to get what you want. It might take you longer, you might need to work harder, but that's for everything that's worth having. And who doesn't know this? These are things we know, but we like looking for excuses. Even when this guy was weak, everybody finally, eventually when you become useless to the setup, they start to release you. And I think he had become too powerful, and he was also becoming a bit of a pain in the behind. There was the, what do you call? There was the, what was it? The Ciroc deal. Is it Diageo or that big company? They said, oh, wacha tulipe umse. Like they already knew, they had already been approached. Hey, are you guys doing business with this person? Why? They disengaged from you. They even paid him off the worth of that contract. They knew nobody, a lot of people have disengaged because they knew it has come, the day has come. And for many of us, at least in this country, it's not something that would happen so easily, especially when somebody gets very powerful. We'll still have these things being done undercover. Tunajua tu lakini hatusemi. So I don't hold my breath for local. I am hoping at one point these things start getting, and I think they will, because the internet is unforgiving, and once you do your bullshit and it's found out, then the social clout you had, the business, people don't want to deal with you. So even if you get to corrupt yourself out of getting prosecuted, society will start to not accept you more and more. And I believe that is at least where we start. As for these people, be careful about these Westerners and what they are bringing here, what they are teaching. They've already destroyed their industries. It's just that they already have a good culture of this entertainment that any new person that is a bit more straight up can come up and take up and make money and build. But us here, we are trying to do these corrupt things and hata tujajenga kitu. So these ones, I am hoping that Diddy, kama amefanya hizo vitu, I believe he has. I don't have, me first of all, this degenerate, like in art, all we are known for is degeneracy, sexual degeneracy everywhere. Because you're an artist, oh, are you gay? Or are you, like everything is about my genitals. I want to create art. I don't want you to bother me with your sexualities, and I don't give a damn. You've reduced me to my skin color only. These people, same people here who are putting Diddy and all these people Einstein in front of us, all great people. These are the same people telling you that you must accept this and that. It's not art. This is what I would describe as culture of blackmail. Where you're blackmailed by, you don't want to be a nice person who supports, like that. You don't even have the full picture. You're just nodding along. Yes, we support. Where's the funding? And I refuse. Wacha nikufe bila pesa. Wacha nikwambie ukweli. I refuse. It will never be. If something like this happens here and I find the information, trust me, I'm the one to explode it, including the videos. There's no people are holding back. Even this one, they're holding gently. Mse alijulikana kitambo. But they've been papasing the guy for years. Weinstein alijulikana kitambo. And then they're the same people who want to preach to you. Kina Oprah Winfrey wanatoka hapo wanasema, racism, shut the fuck up. You dealt with every degenerate in America. And you think you are the nice person? No. Otherwise, what do you think? Leave a comment, share it, like the video if you like, or dislike if you dislike. And give your comment and see. I'll try and respond more to the comments that are coming in. And if you think it's something that some people might want to hear about, share it with them in their WhatsApp groups. Tell them to fireball.